All right, hi everyone. My name is Shannon Morrison, and I'm going to share my technology recommendation chart with you. I took a look at the 5 technology recommendations, and my first one is iXL. I took a look at math, and it looks like iXL serves pre-K through 12, and I specifically looked at the Algebra 1 skills. And so looking at those skills, it did look like they were culturally responsive and really just culturally neutral. There wasn't any students or anything on their problems, and so that seemed to check out. And then it did seem that it was able to adapt to special needs children just because with the program they can move at their own skill and pace, and they can move at their own level as well. And then it did look like there was audio and alternative text descriptions available for that additional support for students who were deaf, blind, or had limited mobility or disability. It also looked like the math skills had Spanish language support for each question. It didn't look like the other skills with iXL did, just the math. And then it looked like students could learn essential math skills through the independent practice in this program. So I thought that was really neat for technology in the classroom. So kind of taking what they've learned from their teacher and then applying those, learning those skills and kind of going over those. And I think the true benefit of this program is to see kind of what students are missing in the classroom for teachers and students. That way they know kind of what they're missing, what they're excelling in those areas. And so I thought we could just take a look at iXL and I could show you what it looks like. So these are for Algebra 1, the skills that the students would go through. So you can see there's plenty of skills for them to go through. And so if there's certain things that they're learning in their class like geometry, perimeter area, they can hone in on those. This is what a skill would look like. They would just solve the problems, and it keeps track of their scores over here and how many questions they answered and how quickly they answered those. And then just giving those students the opportunity, I think especially with special needs students, that if they're just kind of lost with a question and not really feeling ready to answer that question, they're giving them some information to kind of build off of it in order to where they feel comfortable answering that question. Okay, so going back to my chart here, the next one I recommended was Khan Academy, and I took a look at their science-based videos, and their technology is focused towards 9 through 12 grades, and I took a look at their biology videos. And so it did look like their technology appeared to be culturally responsive based on the videos I viewed. There wasn't any people or anything in the videos. It was all very science-based. And then just on their main page, it looked very diverse. And so I think that this is appropriate for special education because students can move through the skills at their own level and speed. And I really like the video formatting where students can listen, kind of take notes. Students can use the closed captioning feature with the videos as well. So for students who have disabilities, I think it's friendly towards them as well. And then students can also use Spanish subtitles on the videos. I found that really wonderful so that maybe students who are trying to learn Spanish or maybe students who are trying to learn English could use those videos in their science classes. And then I just felt like this content provided like great material for biology concepts. So students learning things in the classroom and then going home, they might be confused maybe on the scientific method and how that works. And so this video kind of provides like a short little course, a breakdown of what the scientific method is, something like that, that can be a good reminder for students and what they learned in the classroom. And so it just emphasizes the concepts that they're learning in the classroom, and I think that's a great way for students to go home, watch videos. We know students love YouTube videos, and so it's just a great way for them to be reminded of the concepts they're learning and even making even more connections. So let's take a look at what Khan Academy looks like. So this is an example of their scientific method video.
And feeling good about that progress of our understanding of the world. So let's just use a tangible example here, and we'll walk through what we could consider the steps of the scientific method. And you'll see different steps articulated in different ways, but they all boil down to the same thing. You observe something about reality, and you say, well, let me try to come up with a...
So you can see the Spanish subtitles there. All right, the next one I took a look at was the Studysync ELA, and this is for language arts grades 6 through 12 and for an English class. And so just looking at their demos, it appears to be very culturally responsive, and it also contains a lot of books that I thought were very culturally relevant. The technology can be used for special education students as they can move at their own pace and review and complete the materials at their own pace. There wasn't any accommodations noted on their website, but I imagine that it could be used with like a screen reader for someone who's blind. And then the resources are organized around a first read, a close read, and an associated skill lesson, and those incorporate those English learner skill lessons, and it emphasizes vocabulary, language acquisition, reading comprehension, so I felt it was very appropriate for ELL students. And the content aims to engage students in ELA curriculum by including skills in integrated reading and writing components. So I felt that it was just kind of like a modern way to review books and things for students in English classrooms. And then it provided a way for students to engage in their ELA curriculum through modern technology while still incorporating physical books. So I know back when I was in high school, we used to annotate physical books. So this kind of brings a modern day annotation version to life. And I think it's even more friendly for students who English is not their first language, and it can provide more accommodations for that. So let's take a look at Studysync. So you can see here their website is very diverse, very inviting, access for all. And then here are the books that they're showcasing here. So the teacher would be able to go in and look at the students' annotations and where they're at in the books. All right, the next one I looked at was iCivics, and so this focuses on social studies 6 through 12 grades. It could be used for history or social studies class. And so the website incorporates various genders and ethnicities on their demos and on their webpage. So very diverse, and students can move through the games at their own level and speed. So I felt that it was very appropriate for special education, especially with learning more concept things about history and how the government works and things like that. And then the games have read aloud options with glossaries for defining terms, and there's also visuals present to assist the learner, so I felt that it was very appropriate for students with disabilities. The technology also had Spanish translation and a glossary for English learners, and they also have 8 games fully in Spanish. So I just really felt that this technology makes real-world connections for the students. I kind of saw it as like a modern-day Schoolhouse Rock. That's what we used when we were kids. And so they're actually getting to like apply where does the bill come from. Now they're actually getting to present a bill, and they're making those real-world connections of what happens to a bill through the government and things like that. And so they're getting to make those real-world connections with games that represent their local county, state, national government. And then I just feel that they can kind of take what they're learning in the classroom and put it into action. And so there's one game where the students get to act as they get to pick a lawyer. And so it's just very interactive to where the students can kind of put themselves in the shoes of government agencies. They get to kind of create their avatar, so they're actually getting to act as a governor, act as the mayor, and things like that. So you can see here, they get to see county work, even in Texas. That's pretty neat. They get to run a presidential campaign, create their own avatar and run a presidential campaign. All right, and the last one I took a look at was Quizlet, and so I feel like everyone's very familiar with Quizlet, but it could definitely be used for Spanish and K through 12. Um, Quizlet can be used for K through 12 for all uh, content areas, but for Spanish, I felt like it's kind of overlooked that it could be a huge resource for students, and so Quizlet uses graphics on their website that represent various genders and ethnicities. I actually was very impressed with kind of the moves Quizlet has made with and updates they've made to their website. I haven't been on their website in a while since I was in school doing my bachelor's degree, and they definitely are more diverse now in their web page. And so students can review each flashcard multiple times and can move through decks at their own speed. So I felt that this was very appropriate for special education. There is a read aloud option available, and so pictures can also be used with alternative text. Technology can be used to learn a new language through flashcards and can help with vocabulary and pronunciation since it reads aloud for them. And then I just really felt that it could help students make connections by using those flashcards with the auditory and visual learning, especially with learning a new language. It's always hard to learn a new language and then learn how to pronounce that new language. So I felt like it could be helpful with hearing those words auditory. And then I just felt that students could review the flashcards in and out of the classroom, so it kind of helps them make connections with the new language they're learning. Let's take a look at Quizlet. So you can see here they have kind of like the animated people, but I just really felt that they've definitely made strides on their web page to be more inclusive. And that is all I have for my 5 technology recommendation charts. I hope you'll look into these and send me any feedback that you think I would enjoy hearing. Thank you.